It seems like folks have stopped joining, so we can go ahead and get started. So, hi everyone, welcome again to College 9 and John R. Lewis Virtual Advising Session. We're really excited to have you all here, and we have a great presentation set up for you all. The agenda for today is going to consist of three different parts. So the beginning portion is going to be intros, where you will get to meet who your college advisors are, also some of the student leaders that support the work that we do. So hopefully you all will get to know a little bit more about ourselves and what we do, and kind of start to build those trusting relationships. And then also we have a video presentation set up for y'all. Before we get started, I do want to share that we are recording this session. We haven't decided if we're going to use it yet, but just to let you all know, in case you're a little bit on the shy end, that you know that we're recording the session. And then towards the end of the session, we'll have a chance for Q&A, so y'all will get to ask any questions that you all have. And then, yeah, we can go ahead and get started. And so before we get started, we are going to do a land acknowledgement to kind of lead us with the presentation. So the land on which we gather is the unceded territory of the Awaspa-speaking Yupi tribe, the Amundsen tribal band, comprised of the descendants of indigenous people taken to Mission Santa Cruz and San Juan Bautista during Spanish colonization of the Central Coast, is today working hard to restore traditional stewardship practices on these lands and heal from historical trauma. So we have some links there for y'all on the slides, just for next steps and action items that can be done after this land acknowledgement, in case y'all want to support Indigenous communities. And also there's a link to the American Indian Resource Center, also known as the AIRC, for support at Santa Cruz here. Alrighty, so we'll get started with our presentation. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself first. So my name is Adrian Campos Arenas, and I'm the lead academic preceptor for College 9 and John R. Lewis. And that's just a fancy word for lead advisor. So I oversee the advising team, and we work together to basically advise you all and get you to the graduation. A little bit more about myself is I use he, him, his pronouns. I was born and raised in San Jose, California, which is about 45 minutes away from UC Santa Cruz. And I actually attended UC Santa Cruz as an undergrad. So I studied at UC Santa Cruz, and I got my bachelor's in human biology. I chose UC Santa Cruz because it was close to home. So I wanted to kind of go away for college, but also wanted to be close to family and friends from high school. So that's why I chose UC Santa Cruz. And also the financial aid package was really nice. So I was like, I'm going to Santa Cruz. And yeah, so when I started here as a student, I wanted to be, I thought at the time, a doctor, because in my mind at that time, doctors help people. So that's what I thought. And I thought that that meant I had to be a doctor. And so that's why I chose human bio. And a little bit after taking my calculus classes, I took math 11A and math 11B and realized that I actually didn't like math. And it was funny because I actually liked math in high school, but then when I took math 11A, I was like, this is not for me. And so I kind of started to think about what I could do after instead of being a doctor. So I stuck with the major, and then I was actually a peer advisor during my time here as a UCSC student. I actually worked for College 9 and John R. Lewis. So I'm glad to be back. And that's when I got my first kind of exploration with higher ed and supporting students with basically graduating and attending the university. So I like being an advisor because the university can be very complex. There's so many policies and procedures and so many things that y'all are expected to know. And so I really like supporting students basically through this time, getting y'all to graduation, and also hopefully leading you to where you want to end up after. And yeah, I'm still interested in community health and community work. And so you all can see a picture of my theater group on the right there. And also there's a picture on the left of when I got dropped off for college. So that's me when I was a Frosh with my family. And I also enjoy coffee, I enjoy music, concerts, theater, like I mentioned, and then spending time with friends and family. So I'll go ahead and pass it off to Monica next. Sorry, I'm gonna reshare.
That's okay. Anyway, my name is Monica Baker. My pronouns are she, her, hers. Nice to meet you all, or I will meet you all. I'm a college academic advisor for John R. Lewis and College 9. A little bit about me. I do live in Santa Cruz, grew up in the Santa Cruz Mountains off Summit Road, kind of way out in the boonies. And for the last however many years, I've been living close to the beach in Santa Cruz, I absolutely love it. I love the weather as long as there's no fog, and walking on the beach and walking through the redwoods. And I love UCSC. The campus is so beautiful. I'm so excited for you all. When I got hired at UCSC, I was just blown away walking around the beauty that's everywhere. So a little bit about me. I was a non-traditional transfer student. I first went to Cabrillo, got my AA in sociology, and then transferred to San Jose State, where I got my bachelor's degree in behavioral science, which is anthropology, sociology, and psychology. It was such a cool major. I got to pick the best classes from each of those disciplines, and my concentration was gender and sexuality. I found it really fascinating and loved those classes. So from there, I started getting involved in mental health counseling. I worked at a rehab for a while as a substance abuse counselor while I was still doing my undergraduate degree, because I thought I wanted to do social work. Turns out, after getting a peer advisor position, I really liked academic counseling, so I went on to get my master's degree in counselor education from San Jose State. And I chose this career in advising to help students. Um, I know that for me, kind of like Adrian was saying, it took a village. I needed a lot of support. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I had some great counselors at both San Jose State and Cabrillo that helped me clarify my goals. I didn't know what major I wanted. Everything was really overwhelming for me, and I was really confused, and I definitely needed support during my time in college. And so I want to pay that back. And I love what I do. I love helping students. I look forward to working with some of you. As far as interests and hobbies, I love traveling. I've been to a lot of places all over the world, and I really enjoy experiencing new cultures and travel. I love fitness and health. I'm kind of a gym nut, for lack of a better word. I love yoga, and I love cats. I have a really cute cat named Hans, which I should have a picture of him on here, but I don't. Anyway, I've always loved cats. So that's a little bit about me. Feel free to make an appointment or stop in if you need support or have questions throughout the quarter. I'll pass it over to Chelsea.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chelsea, and my pronouns are she and they. I am another one of your College 9 and John R. Lewis academic advising team. So I also am not too far from Santa Cruz myself. I originally grew up here in the Bay Area, so just over the mountain, mainly in the South Bay area, but also obviously I've lived in Santa Cruz and San Francisco as well. I also for a short time lived up in Sonora, California, up in Tuolumne County. So for those of y'all out east or up by the Sierras, I know where you're at. In terms of identities that I carry, I'm also a first-gen graduate student. I identify as queer as well as neurodivergent. These kind of also influenced in terms of my interest in schooling. So at first, I didn't know what I wanted to do or even how to go to college. So it took me a little bit, but I found my way to community college. And then didn't know what classes I wanted to take, just that I wanted to help people. So I started just exploring and taking interesting classes, ran into some psychology classes and was like, this is really cool. I really want to keep studying this. And then through that, also helping other students transfer out from community college really started to get me into this, like, oh, wow, it's really cool to help people in this way. Fast forward to when I transferred into UC Santa Cruz, I ended up being a peer advisor in my senior year over at the psychology department and really fell in love with helping students there. So I ended up graduating with my BA in psychology with an education minor, and then took my year to then apply to grad school up at San Francisco State for the master's program for counseling in college and career counseling in particular. My hope is that by doing counseling and advising and helping other students reach those career goals and helping them find what those are, as well as promoting social change to help students who, a lot of these systems, as well as with myself, don't really serve all of us all the time. And so I want to be able to be that person there for others. In terms of my personal stuff, I really enjoy Grand Sumo. You'll catch me every other month rooting for my favorite Rikishi. Big into hockey, so San Jose Sharks hockey is going to be starting up here in October. Very excited. And then I often am playing games, playing D&D twice a week, watching lots of movies, shows, anime, love art and cosplaying. And then I also have 3 cats that I love very much. which are pictured on my slide. And then my fun fact is that I love to collect slowpokes. So right now I've only got my little one here with me to share, but if you come and visit me in my office, you can come and meet my life-size one. So I'm really excited to help you guys out in your journeys moving forward. So don't be afraid to come by and say hi. And then I will pass this forward over to Tansel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tansel. I'm also an advisor here with College 9 and John R. Lewis College. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I'm originally from Vallejo, California, so about an hour 45, 2 hours up north from Santa Cruz. As far as my education goes and my background, I graduated with a bachelor's in both linguistics and global studies from UC Riverside, and directly after that, I got an opportunity to help students at my old high school in Vallejo. So I jumped on that opportunity. I thought it would be a nice opportunity to help students give back a little bit. And I realized that in addition to helping people, there was also a lot of the elements that I learned in school, in the high school world, right? With students speaking different languages or coming from different places, all intersecting in the same space. So it developed my passion even further. And I made a few stops along the way at different high schools and different companies, but about a year ago, I moved to UC Santa Cruz to do this at the college level as well. Excuse me. And in addition to that, some interests I have, I like sports. I like, the Giants, the Raiders, the Warriors, and other Bay Area and Bay adjacent teams. I like Pokemon, and I like really the main series games is mostly where I'm at, but I like Pokemon in general. So we're playing Pokemon Violet again so that we can get ready for new stuff happening about a month from now. I like reading also when I can. I'm currently reading Ricky by Howard Bryant about Ricky Henderson and kind of Oakland and Bay Area at large also. And I'm reading The Beat Queen by Louise Erdrich that I picked up recently as well. And I like learning more about linguistics and the stuff that I studied in school because language is always changing, new stuff is always happening. So I like to keep up with what's going on there. And yeah, that's me essentially. And I'm looking forward to working with you all and seeing you all in the upcoming school year.
Thanks, Tansel. And then next I'll introduce our other college advisor. Her name is Gloria Salazar.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for sharing your morning with us. So as Tansel said, my name is Gloria Salazar. I need to be better at adding my last name to my Zoom name, so I apologize, but it's Gloria Salazar. My pronouns are she, her, and ella. I'm also an academic advisor with our wonderful team. I'm really happy to be here and be here for y'all. A little bit about myself is that I am a first-gen low-income student from LA. I always feel weird following Tansel because we are a house divided. He mentions the Giants, I mentioned LA Dodgers. But we love each other, respect each other nonetheless. Transcommunality is a huge theme in our college. And so I am from LA. I am Chicana. I identify as gay. I'm also vegan. I'm a lover of all animals and plants, everything living I love. So I'm a plant mom. I got my BA in sociology and LALS here from Santa Cruz, so go Slugs. And then I got my master's of education in educational counseling at San Jose State over the hill. The reason I became an advisor is because I am passionate about helping students on their journey to graduation or to whatever their goals are, because success is defined differently by every individual. And I'm just here to help you on your journey to reach success and happiness, because that's what I wish for everybody, to be happy. I decided to also become an advisor because I come from a very low income community in which a lot of the youth were stigmatized and not really expected to go into higher education. We really fed into the school to prison pipeline, unfortunately. So there were teachers and guidance counselors, a few sprinkle of them, who did believe in us, and they made such a huge impact on us that I really wanted to pay it forward. And then when I got to UC Santa Cruz, I realized, it's one hurdle to get to college, it's another one to get through it, right? And so it took really a big support system from EOP for myself to be able to make it through, because sometimes, sometimes you're on the struggle bus, and that's okay. You're not alone while you're on it, right? And so that's why I became an advisor. I'm so privileged to be able to help you on your journey, and to be here for y'all and to be with our wonderful team. I forgot to mention my children. I do have 2 dogs and a bird, and I love them so much. On my free time, I'm a bird watcher. So if y'all want to know about birds, let me know, especially the local ones in the Arboretum. And yeah, I love spending time with my wife and just watching birds, watching UFC, hanging out in nature, exploring trails. So that's a little bit about myself. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Claudia. Yeah, so I think now that you all have gotten a chance to meet some of your college advisors, we hope that kind of helps build the trust with us and also get to know who we are and a little bit about the reasons why we're in this role and do the work that we do. Like Gloria and the other advisors mentioned, it takes a community, right, to get us to graduation. In addition, it took like a community in order to get you all here too. It could have been made up of like family members, loved ones, guidance counselors, mentors that supported you to get here. And we hope that with our introductions, we can be a part of your support system to get you to graduation. In addition to us, you all also have student leaders who are here to support you as well. So we do have our wonderful peer advisors who you will get to know, and also your orientation leaders, which you already have probably been in contact with. They're a really good resource too, because they're actually students who are taking classes now. They know what it is like, you know, to take certain GE classes, or they've had classes with certain professors that are teaching right now. So they're also an additional resource that work with our offices on campus. So if anything, if you don't want to reach out to us or hear from us, definitely reach out to your student leaders. And so I'll go ahead and introduce some of our continuing peer advisors. Calvin and Anna continuing with us in this upcoming year. So hopefully y'all will get a chance to meet them sometime in the fall. And then in addition to our continuing peer advisors, we have new peer advisors who are joining our amazing team. So I'll go ahead and ask Narissa to introduce herself.
Hey guys, I'm Narissa. I'm a second year majoring in psychology with the intensive track and a minor in linguistics, or sorry, not linguistics, legal studies. I am taking linguistics right now, though. It's like on my mind. I have so many assignments to do. But yeah, I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and I've been living in Santa Cruz since high school. So if you need any advice about getting around the area, let me know. I enjoy thrifting and reading, walking around, exploring, listening to music, and I do collect all things Garfield. I have some of my collection here with me. This guy's like a plug-in nightlight. I have lots of really odd things from that. But yeah, I look forward to meeting you and helping you out.
Awesome, thanks, Narissa. I like how you've shown a different Garfield thing in each of the sessions, so I believe you. And next I'll ask Emmy to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Emmy. I'm a third year cog sci major with a linguistics emphasis. Did I say third year? I'm a third year. I think I already said that. I'm sorry, I'm tired today. I'm from Long Beach, California, and some things I enjoy. I listen to a lot of metal, alt, and punk music, and I play video games right now. I'm playing Bloodborne. And a fun fact about me is that I'm double jointed in my elbows, so I can turn my wrists all the way around. It's really weird, but cool. Nice to meet all of you.
Thanks, Emmy. And then I'll have Sophia go ahead and take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophia. I'm from the East Bay, Alameda. I'm currently a second year, and my proposed major is a biomolecular engineering. And some of the things I like to do are to cook, listening to music, doing spontaneous things, and going to the gym. And my fun fact is that I have a collection of about 100 plants. And I'm also excited to work with all of you as well.
Thanks, Sophia. And now we'll introduce our amazing orientation leaders. So go ahead and take it away, Rachel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Richa, and I am one of your orientation leaders. Hopefully, you have been receiving some form of communication with us. If not, please check your email. But yeah, I use she, her pronouns. I am from Pleasanton, California. I will be an incoming 4th year this year, so this will be my last year at Santa Cruz. And I am a politics and intensive psychology major. Some of the things I enjoy are reading. I am reading The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak right now. Baking and drinking iced coffee. And then my fun fact is that I've lived in California all my life. And then I'll go ahead and pass it over to Ryder.
Hi everyone, my name is Ryder. I'm the other orientation leader who will be with you today. My pronouns are he, him, his, and my hometown is Tracy, California, kind of east from the Bay, San Joaquin Valley. I'm an incoming junior, incoming third year, and my major is molecular, cellular, and developmental biology, also just abbreviated to MCD Bio. I enjoy walking in nature and taking photos, and a fun fact about myself is that I was on the varsity swim and water polo teams for all 4 years of high school. Well, nice to meet you all.
Thanks, John. Yeah, so that was basically some of your student leaders. And just to kind of highlight again, your student leaders, like your peer advisors and orientation leaders, are great resources. They're students right now, so they're taking classes with maybe professors that you might also be taking classes with in the future. They also have an idea maybe of what GE is, we're maybe more on the easier side. So they're basically students, and they're able to give you that student perspective and advice in that sense. And so definitely, if you don't want to reach out to us, or we seem a little bit scary, which I hope we don't, you can always reach out to your peer advisors and orientation leaders for support. And so that concludes our introductions. And so this next portion will be the pre-recorded advising session. So we'll have slides about how to create a schedule for fall, information about core, what resources you have to choose what classes to enroll in. And then after that, we'll get started with the Q&A. We will be sharing the slides with you all. So just as a reminder, you all don't have to, take a lot of notes, but we will be sharing maybe like a recording and also the slides for the presentation. And we'll also be sharing a quick Google Doc with like all the links that we're talking about in the presentation. So you all will have access to that before you head out. All right, and I'll go ahead and stop talking, and then we'll see y'all in a little bit.
Now that we have introduced you to part of College's 9 and JRL advising team, I'm going to give you a brief enrollment overview to show you what enrollment for fall 2021 should look like. As incoming first-year students, it is recommended that you enroll in at least 3 classes, plus labs when required. Your first class will be Core, also known as College 1. Now, this is a college graduation requirement and needs to be taken by all incoming students in their first quarter. For our transfer students, your schedules are going to look slightly different, so you're not required to take a core class. Your second class should be one of the courses required to qualify for your major. So if you're undecided or undeclared, this should give you time to explore subjects and majors that you might be interested in. Your third class should be an elective, or a class that satisfies one of your general education requirements, also known as GEs. There are a total of 11 GEs that need to be completed throughout your 4 years at UCSC. These 3 classes should add up to around 15 units, which is the average number of units that most students register for. However, please note, guys, that according to professors, every unit you take will require 3 hours of work per week. So taking 15 units in 1 quarter is going to take around 45 hours of work per week. So please, make sure you plan and create a good balanced schedule. Lastly, a small group of you will be taking Writing 25 or 26. Enrollment in these courses are based on your writing placement exams, and those required to take the class are going to be notified by the writing department via email. If you don't receive a notification about writing 25 or 26, you don't have to worry about this class, and it's common for most students not to take a writing class in their first quarter.
Now that we've taken a closer look at your first quarter classes, let's talk a little bit more about core. As we shared before, first-year Frosh are required to take core in their fall quarter. College 9 students will enroll in CLNI 1, and John R. Lewis students will enroll in JRLC 1. When you search for the class, you will see different course offerings for core. For example, for College 9, you will see CLNI 1-01, CLNI 1-02, and so on. These offerings are the same class and will satisfy your core requirement. The differences between them are the lecture times and the professors that teach them. These different core course offerings will give you the flexibility to enroll in your other 2 classes without any time conflicts with your core class. Please keep in mind that there is a mandatory plenary on Tuesdays from 7:10 p.m. to 9:10 p.m. for all students who enroll in core. There are only 4 plenaries that students are required to attend in the quarter. If you have any concerns about being able to attend a plenary, please email us and get in contact with your core professors early. New Frosh who are sophomore standing due to AP exam credits or community college credits will need assistance in enrolling in a core class. So if you have any issues during enrollment, please let us know via email and we'll be able to assist you. Now that we've gone over a little bit more about core, let's talk about your enrollment for the next 4 to 5 years.
Let's look at what the next 4 to 5 years may look like for you. Over the next 4 years, you should plan to earn around 15 units every quarter. Doing so will get you to that magical 180 units you need to graduate, because you do need 180 units to graduate. This is a very strict requirement. But if 15 units feels like a bit much at times, feel free to use your summers. At any point, if you find yourself struggling with the workload or want to talk about summers, come see us in advising. Here is what that 180 units is made up of. You have about 50 units of general education courses. You'll want to spread these out over the next 3 years. There's no reason to rush to get these done, so spreading them out actually helps balance out your workload, which we will talk about a little later. For the next big bulk of your units comes from major requirements, which you'll start taking now. Sometimes major requirements and GEs double count, so you will have the room to take elective courses to help add to your unit count. We want to encourage y'all to explore a little, see what those courses can bring. You should also consider adding a double major, minor, studying abroad, or maybe earning a college distinction. You can look this up on the UCSC website. Next, we will discuss tools and resources to help plan out your academic plan.
How do I know what classes to take? That's a good question. As incoming Frosh students, it's important that you have a general idea about what courses to take and whether they apply to your GE, major, or graduation requirements. The following 5 resources will help you with choosing your classes: getting started in your major guides, advising clusters, AP IBH exam chart, fall schedule of classes, and course highlights. You'll have access to all these sites so that they can support you in your enrollment. If you already have an idea of what major you would like to pursue, the Getting Started in Your Major guides will be helpful in identifying what classes you are recommended to take in your first quarter and first year. These guides were created by your major advisors and departments. They contain information about any placement exams that are required, sample first quarter schedules, and also sample 4-year plans. While some of you may have a general idea of what major you intend to declare, there may be some of you that are not sure or undecided, and that is okay too. At UCSC, advising clusters are groups of majors that help exploratory students identify potential majors at UC Santa Cruz. If you selected an advising cluster or are undecided, we recommend that you review the advising clusters for potential major options based on general ideas and areas of study that sound interesting to you. Please keep in mind that for any major offered within the Baskin School of Engineering, incoming students cannot specify a cluster and must be proposed in a particular major associated with BSOE from the very beginning. All first-year Frosh are required to formally declare at least one major by the end of their sophomore year. If you took AP or IBH exams, you can use the AP IBH exam chart to verify if your exam score counts for unit credit, GE credit, and any UCSC course equivalents. Please note that your AP exam scores must be sent officially by College Board and be received by the UCSC Office of Admissions in order to be verified and officially placed on your student record. Moving on to the fall schedule of classes, this link provides you a collection of resources of general information you may need during your time here. This includes links to the class search, which is the list of classes, registration payment information like financial aid, enrollment information like enrollment dates, and time conflicts, so forth. Take the time to explore this site. Finally, we have our course highlights list. This page has information regarding lower division courses you are able to take as an incoming student that do not have prerequisites in order to enroll. These classes can satisfy GEs, help you explore a potential major or skill, and also count towards your credit to your 180 credit requirement. Now that we have discussed which courses you can take, we are going to share some helpful scheduling tips that can help you adjust to your first year at UCSC.
Let's talk about enrollment dates, also known as your enrollment appointment. In the past, you may have been enrolled in your classes by a guidance counselor or a high school staff member. Here at UCSC, students are expected to self-enroll in their own classes each term. Yes, that means that it's up to you to enroll in your classes. Each student will have a specified enrollment date posted in their MyUCSC student account. This enrollment date specifies the day and the time that you will be able to begin officially enrolling in classes. Your enrollment date can be found in your MyUCSC student account under the enrollment tile and then by selecting enrollment dates. You also have access to other options here like viewing the class search and your enrollment shopping cart. Please know that each student has a different enrollment date and time, so make sure to check this to verify when you will be able to formally enroll in your classes. Enrollment is first come, first served, so if you miss your enrollment date and time, there may be impacts to the courses that you're able to enroll in. You can begin adding potential classes into your shopping cart and then finalizing your enrollment once your enrollment date starts. Please keep in mind that new students are required to complete Part 1 and Part 2 of the Slug Orientation course, in addition to all the assignments, and submit official transcripts to the UCSC Office of Admissions in order to be assigned an enrollment date. If you don't see an enrollment appointment posted in your MyUCSC, or if you're unsure if you completed any of the items listed above, please reach out to the orientation office at orientation@ucsc.edu. Now let's discuss a few important things to keep in mind when selecting your classes for fall.
There are some terms out there that you might not be familiar with, and we wanted to quickly go over them. Mainly that our courses are offered in two different modes, in person and online, with most of our classes being offered in person. We also have hybrid courses, which have some online and some in-person components. For online courses, make sure you know if the class is synchronous, meaning that there are set times that you need to be available for, or asynchronous, which don't have a specific meeting time and often have recorded lectures. So, how do you know if the course is online, in person, synchronous, or asynchronous? Well, we can look at the descriptions for locations and time. If there's a time, the course is most likely synchronous. And if there's a location, the class is in person. And you can also check out UCSC's interactive map to help you along.
Let's jump into some enrollment pro tips. Incoming Frosh are expected to register in only lower division classes. These classes are numbered 1 through 99, such as LALS 1, GCH 1, CSE 20, etc. Most students do not take their first upper division courses until late sophomore year. This is because faculty have higher expectations of students in upper division courses, and the rigor of these courses may feel a bit overwhelming if you jump right into them. When exploring, we encourage students to look for the 80 series courses like Bio 80A, Music 80O, or CSC 80O, just to name a few. If the course is numbered 80, it's likely a course that requires no previous knowledge in the subject and has no prerequisites. These courses are a great way to explore other disciplines as well. When possible in your first year, take qualification courses for multiple majors of interest. Many students change majors within their first 2 years, and sometimes it's not by choice, so having a backup plan is essential. We also encourage you to get familiar with our waitlist system, where you can waitlist courses and set up your portal to swap a waitlisted course when possible. Sometimes students find that courses they want are full, closed, or closed with a waitlist. In these instances, having a backup plan is crucial, so we really encourage every student to create a backup schedule in case you find yourself in a similar situation. Future you will thank past you for having a backup plan. My scheduler can help with backup plans, but of course, as your advisors, we're always here to help with backup plans, so come talk to us if you have any questions.
Next, I'll briefly touch on some of the different placement tests that we offer at UCSC. First, let's talk about the UCSC Online Directed Self-Placement, or the DSP. The DSP exam is required for all students who enter UCSC after 2020 as part of the UC Santa Cruz Online Slug Orientation course. Students will subsequently be placed into a sequence of writing courses through the DSP process. As part of the online slug orientation, students will access the DSP tool via Canvas. Every student should complete the DSP, as your pathway towards completing your writing requirements depends on where you place within the DSP. Next, I'm going to talk about the math placement exam, simply known as ALEX placement. Math placement is the first step in selecting and enrolling in your first UCSE math course. Most incoming UCSE students complete their math placement using the ALEX online placement and preparation system. Please note that if you successfully completed a transferable college level pre-calculus or calculus course, or have a sufficiently high advanced placement or AP or International Baccalaureate IB calculus test score, you can complete your math placement simply by submitting your grade or score to UCSC Registrar's Office. Now we have the language placement exam for students who are interested in taking a language-based course or pursuing a language studies or applied linguistics degree. Each placement is measured on a scale of 1 to 4. 1 is basic and 4 is the most advanced. With the exception of Spanish, students do not need to take a placement exam when enrolling at level 1 in a language they have never studied. All students interested in Spanish must take the placement exam, regardless of their experience. Students who have had language instruction prior to UCSC must take the placement exam if they intend to continue studying in that language. For those of you interested in our programming curriculum, if you have previous experience and a working knowledge of the Python programming language, this test-out exam offers a way for students to skip CSE 20 and proceed directly to CSE 30 or other CSE classes. AP and IBH class credits do not enable students to skip CSE 20, so if you're looking to skip CSE 20, you will need to take the test-out exam. Please note that there are very limited dates for this exam, so be sure to register soon. Last but not least, for students interested in our music opportunities, such as our music major, performing ensembles, or music theory course, please utilize the Music Opportunities webpage for more information on auditions and placement exams.
We know that we've shared a lot of information with you and we don't expect you to memorize it all. You'll be provided a link to this video presentation so you can rewatch it and revisit it as needed. If you have any questions about enrollment during your enrollment time, also known as your enrollment appointment, your orientation leaders will be offering day of enrollment support from August 14th through August 18th. During these times, you will be able to virtually drop in to speak with an orientation leader and also college advisors to help you troubleshoot any questions or issues that come up during enrollment. Your orientation leaders also have weekly office hours where you can visit them for any orientation-related questions. If you need more help after enrollment week, there are several ways that you can contact us. For any quick questions, please send us an email using the email for your affiliated college. And remember, we also have fabulous peer advisors available to help you. You already heard from our wonderful team today, so get to know them too. This is the fastest way to get answers to your questions and to get insight on the student perspective about UCSC, campus life, extracurricular activities, and other topics. You can contact our peer advisors through Google Hangouts using the email address listed on the slide. You can also schedule an appointment with a college advisor through Slug Success, which is the website you use to reserve a spot for this presentation. All of our services that we mentioned are listed on our websites, and keep a lookout for information about Zoom drop-in later this summer. As a final reminder, please know that you're in college now and we're only able to talk to you about your academics. There's a federal law called FERPA, also known as the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, that prevents us from sharing your academic information to anyone else other than you. We hope that you build trusting relationships with your family and loved ones about your academics, and if you have any questions about this, please let us know.
Please remember that the entire Colleges 9 and JRL advising team is here to help and support you in your transition to UCSC.
And do not hesitate to contact us with any questions or concerns that you might have. And feel free to come and see us. We're thrilled to have you join the Banner Slug family and look forward to meeting and working with you all.
Have a slugtastic day.